Welcome to SHOWOFF SHOWDOWN! In this series, the fighters are called SHOWOFFs, and this is the series for the SHOWOFF SHOWDOWN! Now let's meet the SHOWOFFs for tonight's showdown, shall we? Now tonight, get ready to quit hopping and start cloppin', cause tonight's battle is going out with a rainbow! Yeah, I know those bad, sorry. Let's just cut to the chase. It's Rainbow Dash VS Whirlwind. That's all I can say. I put links to the analysis on both characters in the description below. Now without further ado, it's time for the SHOWOFF 2 Showdown!
Get ready for the next battle. Fight!
Men, aim your battle stations! We've got an army of butthurt bronies to defend against!
Okay, now in all seriousness, let's discuss how and why Whirlwind wins this showdown. First off, let's discuss who is more skilled and experienced. Now it's pretty obvious that Whirlwind has more experience, so instead of bending your ear with the same old information, I'm just gonna move on to the skill category. Now as some of us may or may not know, Rainbow Dash is a black belt in karate, so she definitely has some pretty good fighting skill. But on the other hand, like every other Skylander, Whirlwind has learned and trained at Skylanders Academy, which does in fact teach multiple fighting styles, strategies, and techniques. So it's very likely that Whirlwind has gained a great amount of fighting skill as well. Now in terms of fighting experience and the variety of foes and opponents that both characters have faced, while Rainbow Dash has faced quite a few different opponents in the past, Whirlwind on the other hand has faced a much larger variety of different foes and opponents than Rainbow Dash has. Now let's discuss strength. Now, Rainbow Dash is pretty strong in her own right. For example, she once punched out a changeling in one swing, which can survive slamming into the ground at high speeds without sustaining any visible damage. Not only that, but she once managed to beat Applejack in hoof wrestling. Now, if you're wondering exactly how strong Applejack is, it has been estimated by R.L. Yoshi that when Applejack uses her apple bucky technique, she kicks trees with roughly about 2.5 tons of force. But then again, lifting, striking, and bench pressing are not exactly the same thing, so forget what I said. Anyway, Rainbow Dash's strength can actually be pretty inconsistent. There are times when Rainbow Dash can lift and carry huge boulders with no problem, and there are times when she can't even move a small boulder off her wing. Now another impressive performance of physical strength would be the time Rainbow Dash completely destroyed an entire barn with just her raw strength and force alone. Although Applejack did state that it was an old barn and it needed to be torn down in order for her to build a new one. I think most of us know that a wooden structure gradually becomes weaker as it gets older. Now even if we assume that this barn was still strong and stable, no pun intended, an average barn is actually very hollow and not as strong or well supported as an average house. Now the nicest thing we can do for Rainbow Dash is highball this feat by saying it was building level, which is really highballing it. Now even if we do highball this feat, I highly doubt it would be able to compete with Whirlwind's level of strength. Cause believe it or not, according to these official stat cards, Whirlwind is literally more than twice as strong as Spyro the Dragon. Now, in my Knuckles vs. Terrafin episode, I've done a little calculation to find out Terrafin's minimum strength by scaling him to Spyro, and because Whirlwind's stats are very similar, this estimation should very well apply to her as well. So even if we do highball Rainbow Dash's strength up to building level, Whirlwind would still have a clear edge in physical strength. Now let's discuss durability. Now just like her strength, Rainbow Dash's durability can be pretty inconsistent as well. There are times when she can shake off a ton of rocks falling on her with no problem, but there are also times when a crash landing wipeout from a normal flight routine can fracture her wings and put her in the hospital for a few days. So it's hard to determine how durable she really is. Now I don't remember when, but I once read a bio that said Rainbow Dash had small island level durability. Now I'm not sure if that's true or not, but if she does have small island level durability, would that be able to compete with Whirlwind? Well, believe it or not, one of Whirlwind's greatest shown feats of durability would be the time Whirlwind survived a direct blast from Malefor, who is considered to be a large planet buster at the very least. Although, it is likely that Malefor wasn't using his full power when he blasted Whirlwind, so it's likely that Whirlwind wasn't taking a planet-busting attack. However, we do know that Malfoy was using at least a small fraction of his power, so I think we can safely lowball this and assume that Whirlwind has actually survived a moon-busting attack, which seems like a pretty fair lowball considering that the moon weighs about 80 times less than the Earth. Now, even with that lowball, Whirlwind still clearly has a massive edge in durability over Rainbow Dash. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, but this means Whirlwind can pretty much tank anything Rainbow Dash has to throw at her. Now, before we jump to conclusion, let's make sure of this by analyzing their powers and abilities. Now, being a Pegasus pony, Rainbow Dash has the ability to manipulate and control weather in multiple ways, such as creating rain and thunderclouds, and summoning tornadoes. Now, Whirlwind is actually a hybrid of unicorn and dragon, and she can do pretty much the exact same things Rainbow Dash can. Not only that, but Whirlwind can actually link two clouds together through an electrical current, forming electrical tripwires or barriers between two clouds or more. She can also raise her team's XP, drain her enemy's health, enchant certain objects with her power such as the Illuminator, and of course shoot rainbow beams from her horn and release powerful rainbow shockwaves. In fact, not only can Whirlwind's rainbow beams harm her enemies, but also heal her allies. And who's to say she can't use them on herself as well? Not to mention, Whirlwind can also conduct and shoot lightning out of her horn as well in Skylander's Battlecast, which I think is worth noting. So basically, in terms of weather-related powers, Whirlwind can do almost everything Rainbow Dash can do and more. So, I think most of us can agree that Rainbow Dash pretty much has no way to physically kill Whirlwind, nor survive all of her deadliest attacks so easily, which is gonna make things quite challenging for her. However, the real challenge for Whirlwind would be catching Rainbow Dash, because Rainbow Dash is much faster than Whirlwind, no question. Now, Whirlwind is fast in her own right. In fact, a unicorn has been estimated to fly at speed of about 567 miles per hour, and because Whirlwind is also part dragon, she is likely faster than an ordinary unicorn. However, that doesn't change the fact that Rainbow Dash is still much faster, as she usually flies at speeds of about Mach 5, and her Sonic Rainboom can boost her speed all the way up to about Mach 10, and that's just travel speed. Now, in terms of reaction speed, Rainbow Dash has been seen dodging lightning in the past, although that can be seen as inconsistent as well, as there are times where Rainbow Dash has avoided lightning, and there are times where Rainbow just barely avoided it, and there are times when she fails to avoid it. So because of this, there is no guarantee that Rainbow Dash will avoid all of Whirlwind's lightning strikes, but at the same time, there is no guarantee that Whirlwind will be able to strike Rainbow Dash down so easily. So if you think about it, the outcome of this battle is not exactly if Whirlwind will beat Rainbow Dash, but more of when she will beat her. In fact, there are 4 different possible scenarios where Whirlwind would win in the end. Scenario 1. Like I said before, there is no guarantee that Whirlwind would strike Rainbow Dash with her lightning easily, and there is no guarantee that Rainbow Dash will be able to dodge all of Whirlwind's strikes either. However, there is a possibility that Whirlwind might be able to catch Rainbow Dash by surprise. Now, I think we can safely say that lightning won't kill Rainbow Dash, but she has shown to feel pain from it, and it does briefly stun her. In fact, if Whirlwind does manage to catch Rainbow by surprise, the lightning would stun her just long enough for Whirlwind to land attacks on her, such as her powerful rainbow beams or devastating rainbow shockwaves. Or maybe perhaps impale her with her horn if you want to think a little more dark. On second thought, just forget I said that. Anyway, scenario 2, not only can Rainbow Dash be very competitive, but she can also be seen as very cocky and arrogant and tends to underestimate her opponents, which is really not a good idea when facing a Skylander like Whirlwind, especially since Rainbow is facing a much wiser opponent than herself. Now, Rainbow Dash and Whirlwind are both known to have a bit of a short temper from time to time, but that doesn't change the fact that Whirlwind is a much wiser and more pure-hearted opponent than Rainbow Dash. Anyway, it is possible that Rainbow Dash's arrogance and cockiness, plus her underestimating her opponent, may lead to her ultimate downfall. Not to mention, the fact that Rainbow Dash can crack under pressure doesn't really help her either. Anyway, scenario 3. Even if those 2 first methods fail, Whirlwind would still most likely win in the long run. You see, as energetic as Rainbow Dash is, she can't keep dodging and darting around Whirlwind forever and will eventually get tired of it, both figuratively and literally. You see, Rainbow Dash does not have unlimited stamina, and her body does have limits to how much energy and stamina it can use all at once on a regular basis. In fact, there are multiple times where the ponies have shown signs of being exhausted, sleep-deprived, or depleted of stamina, and Rainbow Dash is no different. While on the other hand, Skylanders like Whirlwind are capable of continuously fighting for days on end without tiring out. So I think it's safe to say that Whirlwind does have the stamina and determination to hang in there until Rainbow finally drops. Now I know this may sound like kind of a cheap shot, but this factor actually will hold weight in the long run. Now finally, scenario 4. It seems I have forgot to mention Whirlwind's strongest, most powerful, and most destructive attack, also known as Rainbow Singularity, where Whirlwind charges up her rainbow to the max, and then releases a small black orb that eventually explodes and turns into a rainbow black hole. That's right, you heard me. Although it's not exactly a legitimate black hole, as a real black hole basically consumes and destroys all matter around it. So while Whirlwind's Rainbow Singularity may not be on the same caliber as a real black hole, but it does create a powerful gravitational field that sucks in enemies and eventually explodes, obliterating all who reach the center. And who's to say that it won't do the same to Rainbow Dash? In fact, Rainbow Dash has tried to escape a vacuum before and utterly failed. Now, even if Rainbow Dash tries to withstand and escape Whirlwind's black hole, it might actually leave her vulnerable to being stunned by Whirlwind's lightning, which would cause Rainbow to get sucked in instantly and eventually obliterated once the black hole explodes. I think I've said enough. Oh, and one more thing. For those of you who are wondering about Rainbow Dash's element of loyalty or element of harmony form, well, regardless if it would affect the outcome or not, those powers require outside help from her friends, the main 6, which essentially makes it useless in a one-on-one fight, especially with no prep time. So overall, Rainbow Dash and Whirlwind may have very similar powers and abilities, but Whirlwind has a clear advantage in fighting experience, strength, durability, stamina, and raw power. And while Rainbow Dash may have a good speed advantage, sadly, she'd only be delaying the inevitable. So in the end, Rainbow Dash ended up on the wrong end of the rainbow, and there's no point in beating a dead horse. The winner of this battle is Whirlwind. Okay, now before I offer this next idea to you guys, keep in mind you're probably gonna think I'm crazy for saying this. Heck, I think I'm crazy just for thinking about it. Anyway, if you want to see a full-on team battle between the Skylanders versus My Little Pony, where a group of specifically chosen Skylanders will face off against a group of specifically chosen ponies and other MLP characters, and both teams will have prep time in other circumstances, then let me know in the comments below and we'll see what happens in the future. Oh, and by the way, I want to give a very special thanks and shout out to SpeedsterX123 for helping me with the research on Rainbow Dash for this battle. I owe him great thanks for all the help, plus he's got his own versus series which I believe is worth your view. So do yourself a favor and go check out his channel and subscribe.
Got any ideas for Show-Off Showdown? Then let me know in the comments below, and hopefully I just might do them. Now stay tuned for the next episode of Show-Off Showdown!